I hear a lot of hooting and hollering out there, and it looks like Mike's got another one. What he's doing is trolling around. He prefers to troll. We've got a bay that's kind of on the shelter. We've got really high winds today on Douglas Lake Ranch, and we're actually fishing Stony Lake. Really good lake. I prefer this lake. It's got a little more life to it. A lot of trees around it. It's actually a beautiful lake. And I always like to start in the weed beds. I put on a leech. I've got my favorite red beadhead leech on. I like to work these areas first, and then, of course, venture off when I'm not catching any fish, or whether, depending, I'll see where I go. But Mike's still got him, and maybe we'll get a little look at him a little later on. But it's Douglas Lake Ranch with the boys from the Frog Boat. Today, as we take you sport fishing on the fly. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that big dome. Hey?
I think it's the technique. I think it's the fisherman.
Some days are good and
Yeah,
some days are better.
a lot better. Sport Fishing on the Fly is brought to you in part by Islander, builder of world-class fly float and mooching reels. The Frog Boat, inspired by nature, ingenious by design. The Freshwater Fishery Society of British Columbia. Catch what you've been missing. Go fish, BC. Ah, you still got him, eh? Looks pretty good.
Every time I kind of ease up, it takes the line out, eh?
You know, these frog boats are great too. You can stand up, you can get the fish in, you can motor wherever you want. You got an anchor system. Actually, you have them all, and they're really sturdy, like very, very sturdy. Whoa!
He doesn't want to give up.
No kidding, that's good fish. Ah, I just
Okay,
lost
she's
him.
right near the boat here.
Yeah, and I had one too, just lost him.
She's not coming.
No, it looks pretty good. I just lost one. I think there's quite a few fish moving in here. I would say I'm in about 15 feet of water. Mike's out in about 25. And there are quite a few fish cruising along. Right on this weed bed, I've got weeds just below me about 3-4 feet. So there's quite a few fish moving in here. And good size too, aren't they, Mike?
They're good size, yeah. This one's a scrapper. Doesn't want to come close to the boat.
No.
See if I can get her in the net. Not coming yet.
Keep coming this way if you can too, if you can.
Yeah, I'm trying to
we
get
got a
over
good
that
shot,
way,
everybody.
but
Yeah,
I gotta go where the fish wants to go.
Exactly. Oh
In the
yeah,
net.
nice fish. Couple pounds.
What do you think, Don?
Oh, beauty. That's nice, 2.5. Beautiful. Yeah, oh. And he just got off. Oh. That's the problem. I got a balance leech on, and they're tied on a upside down hook, and it's quite tough to hang on to. But see if we can get out there and get another one. I always lose them by the boat. Darn it. They're in looking for food.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. We got the zone, it's in the area. There we go. Yeah, we knew we'd find this little weed section here right off the bat. We're just essentially off the launch. And we got blown off the main lake. We got up this morning, it's about 8 o'clock. Real cold. You know, it's June 24th. And look at the way I'm dressed. It's absolutely crazy. We're on Douglas Lake Ranch. Freakishly cold spring this year. And we're having to hunker down in this bay to start. And there's a real nice weed bed right here. I know there's a lot of fish that move through here, so we're gonna start here and hopefully move on the next section later. What I like to do is just unhook the fly. Let him go. There he goes. Off he goes. A good start. Finally switched over to the leech, and we finally got this guy. Whoa. Oh, it's not ready yet. Yeah, geez, you know, you never know without a depth sounder. You're kind of helpless. Like I always just preach that you should always have depth sounders with you, and of course we're out fishing without them today. And it's very important to have an anchor rope that at least you can check and see what depth you're at. There's a few fish feeding in here. I got that guy on the leech, but he's just a small one coming off the spawn. There he is there. You know, not big by any means, but an okay fish. I'll just let him go. Well, we tried the leech for a bit, tried it for about 15 minutes, had a fish on it, had another hit. It didn't seem like a lot of action. Then I noticed some more green chronomers coming off. They're small, they're about a size 14, 16 even, so I like to put on something just a little bit bigger. I got a size 12 green chronomet here, and we'll try that for a bit and see how that goes. But I like it. It's starting to warm up a bit. It's about 10:30 in the morning, getting a little bit of a hatch happening. We'll give it a try. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. It's got a little, big kelp again. Look at this guy, just came off the spawn. No fight in him, just a big kelp, just coming off the spawn. You know, that fish is gonna be big in the fall, really big in the fall, but right now, just kind of beat up and trying to recoup. Just came off the spawn, so I'll try to let him just go and revive again. That's what you get in the spring. Sometimes you get the big guys coming off the spawn, and sometimes you get some fresh triploided fish. So I'm hoping I get some big, fresh triploided fish that don't spawn. You know, even a bad day when you're just totally blowing off the main part of the lake, where you've got really bad weather conditions, try to find somewhere you can hunker down, any little cove. You know, the ideal is anything where the fish may be sitting. I'm fishing about 12 feet of water, 12 to 15 feet of water, and there are fish moving through here. So look for fish activity and try to get in the wind sometimes. It helps, because we were getting nothing out there in the wind. Well, as you can see, a little bit different day. We've got day 2. We're here actually at Douglas Lake Ranch for a day, actually 2 days and a half. We got here Friday afternoon. And under tough conditions, you really can't get down on yourself or the fishing. I mean, it's really the experience. We came out with Mike Radley, the Frog Boat, John, Randy, a couple of friends. We really had a good time. You know, have a few cocktails that night, you have some great food. So even if the fishing isn't what you expect, you know what? It's probably worth it on the day when you finally get some good weather. It makes it all worthwhile. So I'm hoping today we get some good fishing in. We're hoping. Oh, gee. Oh, just ripping it. they want that fly just humming. There we go. Oh, Yeah, they're just stacked in here. This is great. Fishing a leech over the weeds. Fish are just, and they want it moving. They're just, oh, there, they're all in here, just chowing on them, on leeches and stuff. But they want that fly moving. There we go. Oh, they're just ripping it. No, I got actually a big, one of my favorite beadhead, kind of maroony purple black. I love the way they hit the water. Oh. Little guy. Whoa, 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 whoa. There he goes. Little guy. We want to show you a big one, but they're banging this big leech right now in this area. But I think I get a lot of hits in where they're not quite grabbing it, and it is quite a big leech. So I might go a little bit smaller. I think with a smaller pattern, I might be able to slow it down just a bit, and I might have to change from my clear intermediate sink to a dry line. I'm in weeds. The weeds are down probably 8 feet, but the tops of the weeds are only a couple feet off the water. So if I keep hooking weed, I'm gonna go to a lighter pattern, smaller pattern, and maybe change over to my dry line. Geez, I've just had a few fish bringing this big leech in, having to be a little bit quicker. They're starting to swipe at it. As soon as I got near the boat, I was letting it dance a bit, and there was fish coming up swiping at it, but they're really not hitting it hard. So whenever that's the case, it means they like what they see, but they're just not quite comfortable eating it. Might be a little too big, maybe it's got too much flash. So when you see that, when fish are swirling on it, or you're getting a lot of strikes, but they're not grabbing it, think go a little smaller and a little less flash. You know, we got the sun out today. I don't think I need the flash. Ooh, see, and they're false striking it again. Well, we just took 3 casts with the baby leech and not even a hit. So I've gone from quite big to real small, and now I'm going to something in between. So I've tried the big one, which we had luck. We weren't able to land a whole bunch, just a few. But the fish were on it, but turning on it, getting a lot of false hits. Then I went to the baby leech I tried 3 casts just to see, and nothing. So now I'm going to what I call my red ruby-eyed leech. We've used this on the show numerous times. It's tied on a bent hook. It's got a really leechy look to it. So we'll give it a try. It's kind of a mid-size. Well, that's about how far the weed bed is down, about 4 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang a leech too. When you're in a boat by yourself in BC, you're allowed to have 2 rods going. I normally don't like to because I get all tangled up, but today I'm going to try it. I know they're in here feeding on leeches. I'm going to keep dragging my leech. I've had to hit quite a few casts, but I want to see if they want it just kind of wind drifting. We got just a slight chop in the water, so I'm going to give it a try. This is a big fish, this one. This is nice. That's that right in the weed, finally. You know, it was critical too. We get that little bit of chop, just a little riffle, just to get the fly moving through those weeds. And this big guy hit. You know, the tough part is you got to keep him out of these weeds. There's lots of weeds right on top here. I've got my fly down about 4 feet, just working it through the weeds, and this big guy hit. This is a nice fish. You know, you're 18 to 20 inch, quite nice, quite stocky. Oh yeah, nice healthy too. Oh, beautiful. There he is there. Nice fish. You know, we're gonna get him a lot bigger today. That's a good start. There he goes. That's all you need is that riff. You know, I had the little riff for maybe 2 minutes. Fly goes through, catches a fish. Now it's dying off again. I just can't believe it. We go from extreme 30+ mile-an-hour winds to no wind in one day. That's fishing. So I think we'll go to the bench right now and tie up this, one of my favorites, kind of a maroon with my red bead balanced leech. Just hangs in the weeds. It's perfect for fishing over top of weeds. Let's go to the bench, tie you one up. Every year there's exciting new patterns that come out, and this year Brian introduced us to the balanced leech. Now this is a great leech pattern to fish over weeds, so make sure you have these materials ready before you tackle this pattern. For the hook, we'll use a number 10 jig hook. we'll use a 5/32 silver tungsten bead as the bead. We'll cut a pin to length for the extension for the bead. We use some 8/0 wine thread as the thread. Some claret marabou with red crystal flash as the tail. And some dark blood leech mohair for the body. To start the fly off, I've put my hook in my vise and tied on my thread. And what I've done is taken a straight pin, just a normal straight pin, and left the head on the straight pin. And what I've done is cut the straight pin in half and then slid my bead up so it's stopped by the pin head. And now what we're going to do is actually place it on our hook and tie it in as the bead on the very front. So when I place this on the pin and I'm going to tie it over the top of the hook, I'm probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch in front of the jig hook eye. And again, tie it on and tie that pin down so it's nice and secure and your bead sits off the front of the hook. After you have your pin and your bead tied in off the front, I move my thread to the back of the hook and I just want a small clump of marabou. Now, it's important just to use a real small clump. You don't want it too thick back there. And we're going to extend it just off the back of the hook, again, probably 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and just tie it in. Once your marabou is tied in, take 2 strands of crystal flash, double it over your thread. I always like to double it up. Pull it down, and again, just cut it to length. You want it about the same length as your marabou tail. Now that the tail is all tied in, we want to put in the body. And this mohair, actually mohair rope is very good. It forms a real nice body. So we're going to tie it in right at the back of the hook. And again, keep it thin off the back. Tie it in good near the rear of the hook. Take our thread all the way up right to behind the bead. And now we're going to wrap our body in. And then after we get the body wrapped in, we'll pull this all out to form a nice leechy body. Finish off the fly, I'm going to take my whip finisher, and again I'm going to whip finish right behind the bead, just like that. Then after we whip finish, I want to take my dubbing pick and really pick this body out. That mohair picks out nice, that's the purpose of the mohair, and really pick it out to form a nice leechy body. So there you have it, the finished blood red balanced leech. And I like to vary this pattern. A lot of times I'll put a red glass bead in behind the silver bead that I've put on, adds a little bit more glint. This pattern is the best pattern I have ever used over weed beds, so give it a try. I know you're gonna have luck. That's a big guy. Whoa, look at him go. Man, that is just phenomenal. Wow, it's just great fishing with the balanced leech. So if you haven't tied up any balanced leeches before, you know, we showed you on the bench, you definitely want to tie some up because they are super effective. Oh, another standard size. Oh, the fly just popped out. Hey, you know, he's probably 18 again, just nice and thick, healthy. Even shorter than that. He's probably only a 16-inch guy, but he's, whoa, showered. Man, he's tough to get out of here. It's got a small little, there he is there, another guy. You know, beautiful color, just nice and fat. There he goes. Oh. So I just want to really talk quickly about recommended setup. What we've gone here today is, I've had 2 major setups, 2 of my main ones. One is the clear intermediate sink. You know, I was working the leeches on top of the weeds fairly quick when they want it quicker this morning. And now I've got my dry line with, you know, I've got my normal chronomid setup, 16 feet of leader with a tippet on the end. And all I've done is slid my indicator way down to the 4-foot level, probably, you know, that much, 3 to 4 feet. And I'm just working the weed tops. So that's what you want to fish. Normally Douglas Lake Ranch, you know, 4-weight rods. I've got a 10-foot 4-weight, plenty of power. I like the longer rods in lakes because you can cast them better, open the loops. So something light, you don't need anything heavy here. There are big fish, but a 4-weight is ample. So that's the recommended setup for today. Let's get another one. Never say it's dried up. It's always good. And the balanced leech right in the top of his lip. Now he's up. I may need the net now because I think he's all, oh, there he goes. Beautiful. Keep it going as long as we can before the weather goes bad on us again. It's supposed to stay nicer today, but we're getting a little bit more of a wind up, which is good, but we got some clouds coming in. So, well, it's almost that part of the day that we're gonna have to take off. Looks like the weather's turning bad on us again. But if you have a chance, come up to Douglas Lake Ranch. You know, we hadn't been up here in probably 6-7 years. It was a good time to come back. Oh, there we go. I got it. Oh, no, that was weed. Darn it. Thought I had a fish. No, that's oh, that was a good snag. So anyways, when you get a chance, give Douglas Lake Ranch a call. We've always had a good time up here. I've fished it in June, fished it early season, late May. I've also fished it in September, October, which actually can be incredible when they come on. So make sure you give them a call. If you ever get a chance, you know, try a frog boat out. These things are fantastic. We have, me and Les and myself, of course, have the frog boats. Les likes filming out of it. I like to use it. You can stand up. You can't tip these things over. They're very well balanced. So if you get a chance, check them out. They're a great product that's out there. Oh, there's a fish. And I got a nice one again. And I was always saying, if you get a chance, come out to Douglas Lake Ranch, conserve our waters. Whoa, and we'll see you next time we take you sport fishing on the fly. And of course, we're going to show you this fish as we go to extra. Oh no, and I just lost him. Oh, darn. Go for another one before it rains. To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one showing, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.